Hey everybody, welcome to the Tiger Talk Perspective. This is episode 5. Thank you for stopping in. I appreciate everybody hanging out with me tonight. Today's gonna be an interesting show. I'm gonna try to do, some creative things again. Not too much to talk about in the political realm. So I just got one quick clip on the show for the political realm. I hope y'all like it. And then we're gonna move on. Like I said on my last podcast, I got a bunch of clips I want y'all to see concerning the border. And then we'll move into a couple of other things as far as finances and what's coming down the pike as far as, you know, the financial realm, things that's going to happen coming in January. I really think everybody needs to know this. That's why I keep pushing it. I know this podcast is mostly, I said it's pushing marriage, family, you know, it's just things are going to get so bad, pushing, the nuclear family, the extended family, and education, and things like that. But I really feel that the finances and the political realm and all that's part of education. That's part of family, so you could prepare, so you could take care of your family and stuff like that. So I hope you understand what I'm trying to say and what I'm trying to do. So without further ado, let's just get into the first clip, and I hope you enjoy it.
New York City's boroughs, and the only borough with a Hispanic majority. President Biden got 83% of the vote here in 2020. But now the Biden campaign is seeing polls coming out saying President Trump is gaining traction with voters of color, even younger voters. So I came to the Bronx to put a face on the numbers, and I was shocked by what I heard on the streets. Do you think that President Biden is doing a good job with the economy?
No, he's not doing nothing to support nobody.
Is he doing a good job? Yes or no?
No. I can see we're all going to be the streets homeless.
Biden and his press secretary said that prices are going down. Is that your experience or is that not true?
No, that is definitely not true. Prices are definitely going up. I used to go across the street to Fordham to go get me a meal. I can't even get me a meal because that meant $20.
Minority communities, we're not seeing the improvement. There's inflation with everything: food, gas, insurance prices. I mean, you name it.
Bidenomics is not working. It's just a complete mess. It's a disaster. Especially here in New York City, we're feeling it very hard.
If you could say anything to Biden right now, who says that the economy is improving, especially in black and brown communities, what would you say to him?
That's lies. I believe that's lies. Heavy lies on that, for sure.
Do you think that somebody else besides Biden should be president?
Yes,
next
of course. Bring back Trump.
Tell me why.
We had money. We had money when Trump was president.
Free my son Trump. Free my son Trump. Trump 2024, everybody.
All day.
Trump 2023.
That's crazy. And we're here in the Bronx.
I'm gonna vote for Trump if he runs because I feel like it was much better when he was here financially for everybody.
True.
Not just me, for everybody.
I'm definitely voting for Donald Trump. He made sure we had money in our pockets. He was for the people. He made sure we had what we needed. I feel like everything will go back to how it was. I mean, ever since he's been out of office, everything's declined.
I say that.
When Trump was president, my life was good. Economical wise, I was doing so much better.
They're saying it's going to be Biden Trump, so who will you vote for?
Oh, I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna have to go for Trump. Sorry.
I'm gonna go for
Facts
Trump.
all
Trump.
day.
I'm always Trump.
Here, let me see. Who are you voting for?
Trump.
Feeling the pain of price hikes is one thing, but the show of open support for former President Donald J. Trump on the streets of the Bronx was very surprising.
The same people that just 3 years ago were calling Trump racist and would be ashamed of their friends if they were supporters of Trump are now all proudly and loudly saying Trump 2024. And I'll add, or sooner.
All right, Biden not winning, man. I'm telling you, he's not winning. I love my people from New York, boy. But anyway, the next set of things I'm gonna talk about is last week I was talking about how I believe, in my personal opinion, and what I've been reading through this geopolitical spectrum, is that we're being invaded, and we're not being invaded by our Hispanics, brothers and sisters. Yeah, they're coming across the border. Yes, they are, but it's not really them that we're being invaded by. It's a difference. We're being invaded by people from different countries that I believe coming here to do us harm. Now, the next clip I'm going to show y'all, I need y'all to do me a favor. I need you to watch this clip, and what I want you to watch for is, I want you to watch to see, how strong these men look, how clean these men look. Look how they stand with their hands behind their back as if they're in a military stance. They can't get it out of them because they trained to do that. See, you gotta look at the training. Look at how these men standing. They're saying that, listen to what the lady said, they came through 3 or 4 countries to get to Mexico, but look how clean they are. Look how strong they are. They don't look weak. Why are they running from China? They say they running because they're looking for asylum. You know how many poor people are really in China? Do they look like the poor people from China? Do they look like the ones that are living up that's under the thumb of the China regime? Nah. These dudes look like they're military men. So just watch it. Tell me what you think. I'll be back. We're gonna move fast.
And now to our southern border, where agents say a surge of Chinese nationals are being apprehended. That happening as the overall number of migrant encounters continues rising. New numbers first obtained by NewsNation show more than 242,000 people crossed into the U.S. in November, which is an increase of 5% from October. And a new NewsNation Decision Desk HQ poll shows border security is a top priority for Republican voters. More than half of those polled say the border is the most important issue, and almost half support building a border wall. Correspondent Allie Bradley is live for us at the border. And Allie, let's focus on this surge of Chinese migrants. How big of a problem is this becoming?
Yeah, it's pretty big here, Nicole. NewsNation can report that we've seen hundreds of Chinese nationals crossing into a couple of different camps in Jacumba Hot Springs. That's in San Diego County. So we do have some new numbers here of this spike that we're seeing. They're crossing illegally into the U.S. And this is what we've learned. Just 2 months into this fiscal year, which started in October, we've already seen more than 9,800 encounters with people from China seeking to be in the United States here. That's compared to over 24,000 for all of last year. So we're seeing a sizable increase here. And NewsNation was rolling as these migrants crossed into this area. Take a look at this video here that we were able to obtain, where a massive group of Chinese nationals were being processed by Border Patrol agents. The majority of them, as you can see, are single adult men. So hundreds of Chinese migrants are already living in these makeshift camps, waiting to be processed by agents. Many say that they want to get away from the Chinese Communist government, and they hope to be granted asylum here in the United States. Bian is from Vietnam. Her husband is from China. The couple says that they traveled through 7 different countries in order to get here. The Chinese migration is fueled by Chinese social apps like WeChat. And apparently that instructs migrants on how to make this trip from China to the United States. The majority of Chinese migrants, just like migrants from around the world, fly to Ecuador because the South American country does not require a travel visa from Chinese citizens. Now, in the first 9 months of this year, over 15,000 Chinese migrants traveled through the dangerous Darien Gap jungle in Panama that is controlled by criminal groups. Chinese migrants are not subject to the same vigorous vetting that migrants from countries considered special interest are. The reason? Officials tell me it's all about politics. Still, the concern, once again, is a potential threat from unknowns crossing into the United States, something FBI Director Christopher Wray discussed today at a congressional oversight hearing. Take a listen.
Again, as you say, there's the unknown unknown and the known unknown. Right. But what I can tell you is that our 56 Joint Terrorism Task Forces are working their tails off to make sure that they suss out and identify potential terrorist suspects, whether they're on the watch list or not.
Okay, so again, NewsNation can confirm here that exclusively almost 250,000 migrants crossed into the United States last month alone. The San Diego County Board of Supervisors, meanwhile, where that video was taken, they've actually approved an emergency funding of $3 million for emergency shelters there. They're meeting today to discuss if that number will be increased to $6 million. Nicole.
All right, Allie Bradley live for us there along the border. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.
All right, now, so I see that. Just check that out just now. Just see what they look like. I'm not bugging, am I? These guys look like real freaking, real hardcore military, man. I'm telling you right now, the Chinese train their men right. These guys are trained from young ages, and they're trained tough. A lot of these militaries on the other side of the world, they train to beat the United States. So they do everything they can. So these guys are tough, trust me. So when they get here, these guys know how to do a lot of things. They know counterterrorism. insurgency and all this stuff. So trust me, they're trained. Check out this next clip. It's a little long. Bear with me. You'll understand what I'm getting at.
Well, take a look at your screen right now. What you are seeing is just the beginning of a 4 million strong illegal immigrant caravan heading to the United States. Our next guest, independent journalist Ryan Mata, has been covering this extensively over the past couple of months. He's been watching and warning the United States what's coming. 4 million illegal immigrants heading for the United States. And Ryan joins us now to dive more deeply into this story. Ryan, good to see you. Thank you for all the work that you've been doing in cataloging and trying to warn the American people of what's coming. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Clayton. It's an honor to be here. Thanks for having me.
It's our pleasure. So you've been down at the border, I mean, many, many times. You have tens of thousands of hours of footage, and you've been tracking this caravan. And I don't want to be alarmist at all, but when you have seen the numbers, you've been cataloging these numbers, and your numbers are pointing to around 4 million illegal immigrants heading to the United States. Am I accurate in that number?
Yes, you are, Clayton. And that is, you had interviewed Carlos Arellano. So Carlos Arellano is, he's a very brave whistleblower that came forward to expose these, the child trafficking that's going on. He also speaks Spanish. So he's actually been reading the Mexican news, the local newspapers in Mexico. They're the ones who have been reporting on this and warning us, because the cities in Mexico, the citizens there are getting very upset because the migrants are basically overflowing their cities. There's reports coming in that when these migrants are actually riding the train of death to America and they make it to a certain point in Mexico, they're waiting in Mexico to get a message from CBP on the app telling them to come. So these towns in Mexico where all these trains are riding, I mean, it's overwhelming. And then you see the train bridge above me, right? The train just goes,
right.
It literally every 30 minutes, like it must only go a couple miles into Mexico, stop, and then go back into the United States. And it just goes back and forth, back and forth.
Filled with migrants.
No, you can't see the migrants. So they're getting off the bridge. You know what I'm saying? They're probably on the back cars. We can't see it on our side. They get off and then they come and they walk right across there in Eagle Pass.
It's unbelievable. So when I say 4 million illegal immigrants, the footage that you're seeing here on your screen that you've been capturing, drone footage at Eagle Pass and on a regular basis, the thousands that are coming across, when do you think the bulk of the 4 million are set to arrive in the United States? Are we seeing it now, or is it going to be months, or is it later in 2024?
I think we're already seeing it, Clayton. They are obviously already showing up at our shores. That's why we actually went down to Texas. We went down there on November 18th, so about 2 weeks ago now. That's where all this drone footage is from. That's why we went down there, because we heard from Carlos that this was coming and that it would be arriving sometime in the beginning of November. So around November 1st, and roughly over like a 90-day period, based off of the intel that we got from one of our buddies, muckrakers, who actually got dropped off over in Colombia and made the trip with the migrants all the way through Panama, all the way through the Darien Gap, rode the train of death up to America. And it took them, I want to say, about 6 weeks to make it here. So you figure that the farthest point of that caravan, maybe 90 days, roughly, there's that many coming here.
So we could be seeing really by mid-January into early February when the bulk of this migrant pattern is coming to us.
Absolutely. We're seeing it already. Look what's happening in Arizona. I mean, they're literally having to shut down. There's migrants, I forget the article, but they just published it. Allie Bradley over on Twitter reported on it. There's migrants in Arizona that are being stuck out in the desert. So they're coming across the border. They're registering on the Border Patrol app. And then Border Patrol is supposed to go out and basically pick up these migrants. They made it onto USA shore. They've claimed asylum. They're walking through the desert. Well, Border Patrol is so busy. They're so overwhelmed right now that Border Patrol can't get out and I guess pick up these migrants. So the migrants are now setting boulders in the road and crashing cars in America. Nobody got hurt. Nobody got injured, but the car was destroyed from the migrant that did it. So if we got a point where Border Patrol can't even do their job, they can't even process these people fast enough, what do you think it's going to look like when just waves of hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people hit these processing facilities? There's nowhere to go. Airports are overrun. Everything is overrun right now. We're already seeing it, Clayton.
You've been alerting the government. You've been telling the government about it. What response have you gotten from the Biden administration? Have they said, we're taking action on this, where we've got it covered, don't worry about this, Ryan?
Oh, yeah, they're on top of it, Clayton. Right. They couldn't actually respond to me fast enough. I didn't even make it off the plane before I was getting texts from the Biden administration.
So you were down there just recently, of course, and the drone footage. I want you to tell the story of interacting with the Border Patrol, because you had your drones up capturing these individuals, and they're on to you now. I mean, are they trying to hide what they're doing in different parts? Or can you talk about what you experienced with the Border Patrol?
So the first time we got down there, I had 2 altercations with Border Patrol. I thought we were allowed on public property or private property to walk along the edge of the border where all that razor wire is. And we did the first day. Didn't have too many issues. National Guard was who we ran into the first time. I guess we weren't in the right area. I was kind of more off to the right of those bridges, kind of cruising along the border. I actually rented a Dodge F-150. If anybody's going to go down to the border, I suggest renting a white Dodge F-150 or Dodge Ram 1500 4-door. That's the exact same white truck that National Guard and Border Patrol use. So if you're going to cruise along the border, you really blend in. You can you're allowed to be there. They'll use color of law and tell you that you're not. You're allowed to drive there. We did. But if they stop you, they see you, they tell you to get off and whatever. So National Guard was really nice. Then we started to run into Border Patrol. Border Patrol is the one who's going to use the color of law to basically try to intimidate you into leaving. And now they have a dedicated media area. So you're kind of roped off. You can't report. You can't see everything that you want to see because they kind of put you into a specific area. But luckily I had my drone, so I was able to get around that. It seems like that they don't want us there for some reason.
Yeah, for some reason. I wonder what it happens to be.
And then that's it. You were asking about the drone footage. So we had got there in the morning. We had just got there. I told Clayton right before we went live, every time I've gone to Eagle Pass about 4 different times, I would have to get down to Eagle Pass and maybe stay there for 30 minutes or an hour. Or maybe when I got there might be 1 or 2 people, maybe 3 come in, and you could see a couple down the river walking up. But it wasn't like those giant caravans, just row after row, just a never-ending sea of people. So I flew my drone up, and as soon as I got my drone out to the bridge, I seen the people on the back of the shipping container. You can probably throw the video up and you'll see them all standing on the back of the shipping container. And then there's 2 bridges, one on the right. I was right in between them. And then I went over to the one on the right. When I got over to the one on the right, I seen that Border Patrol had set up a ladder over the shipping containers. There was migrants like reaching down, pulling each other up onto the shipping container. And then Border Patrol had put up a ladder so they could walk down. And then as soon as they see my drone out there, it immediately stopped. The ladder came down. People were starting to come back up on the shipping containers and starting to go down. And then they started sending them to the other side. And then within 10 minutes, the whole back of those shipping containers was covered in migrants because the Border Patrol's like, wait, we can't be filmed letting these people into this country. We're not supposed to be doing these things. Wait, we got to stop. And that's when they sent the sheriff out to try to tell me that they had a helicopter flying up and that I had to take my drone down because they had a helicopter in the sky. And I said, well, I'm sorry, sir. I'm a licensed drone pilot in all 50 states. And actually on my device here, I'm connected to air traffic control and you don't have a bird in the air. So if there is one, I'll get a warning and I'll actually be forced to take my drone down. Until that happens, I'm going to continue to fly my drone. And he goes, that's not the point. We have operations. And he started giving me a hard time huffing and puffing. And then he literally just walked away.
He's like, oh, you found me out. Happened? Oh, you know the truth. Yeah, that's anyone who operates a drone like I do. It gives you an alert right there to let you know that you have to get out of that airspace immediately, and it'll actually move you. It actually forces you, the drone, out of the airspace. You can't control it. So that's great. That's amazing. Speaking of aircraft, a big story that you've actually been covering is also that American taxpayers are footing the bill for the tickets for airline passengers to be flying and being transporting these illegal immigrants in the United States. This is unbelievable. So most Americans think that, our tax dollars are going to a porous border. Little do they know that their tax dollars are actually going to transport them via aircraft in the United States. Can you talk about this story that you just broke?
Yeah, absolutely. Big shout out to Hernando Arce. That's at Hernando_RC over on Twitter, and then _Beyond the Mask. They're the reason that I was actually down in San Antonio the first time. They're doing great work. They're citizen journalists that are out there every day with nobody, very little followings, very small, but they're out there every day filming. And I met Hernando at one of these protests, and he's the one who also speaks Spanish. So he goes to the migrant processing facilities. So after the migrants come across the border, they go to a processing, or they go right under the bridge, they get checked in, they get on a bus, and then they get shipped to a processing center. And then from that processing center, they get shipped up into San Antonio. And this is where we were at in San Antonio. This is where Hernando Arce was. And he was out there filming and he was interviewing one of the illegal immigrants. And another one came up to him and says, hey, man, can you give me a ride to the airport? And he goes, ride to the airport? Why do you need a ride? He goes, well, I don't have any money and my plane leaves at 3 o'clock.
I don't have any money. I don't have any money and my plane leaves at 3 o'clock. Okay.
Yep. And he goes, let me see your plane ticket. So he shows him his plane ticket and he goes, okay, well, why don't you just call an Uber? And he goes, well, I can't afford an Uber. I don't have any money. And he hems and haws and he takes him. So once he gets in the car, the migrant actually starts opening up to him. He saw that he was interviewing somebody else. The migrant starts opening up to him. And when the migrant starts opening up to him, he starts telling him, he said, hey, and Hernando goes, is there anything you'd like to tell us about these facilities? And the migrant was kind of upset, complaining about it. He goes, absolutely. He goes, what's really bizarre is they kept me at this facility for 13 to 15 days until one of my family members could buy me a plane ticket. Then after they bought me the plane ticket, they wanted to take a copy of the receipt and log it into their system, implying that they were going to be billing the US government for the plane ticket that his relatives just bought him. They wouldn't let him leave this facility until he had purchased a plane ticket. Then once he had purchased a plane ticket, they just let him, like they didn't give him a ride to the airport. They didn't help him with anything, nothing.
They just let him out, and he gets to go, and he gets to fly wherever he wants. And where exactly is he flying to? Where exactly is he flying to then? Are they sending them to different locations where he's going to live with some sort of a family? I mean, I just don't understand where they're shuttling him off to.
I don't know. Yeah, he said he's going with his family. His family was the one who's purchased the plane ticket. And I believe he was going to Montana.
Okay. So his family was purchasing the plane ticket. Sure.
Yeah, that's how that. Yeah, exactly.
Right. Okay.
It's crazy, is it not?
Right. Yeah, his family's got credit cards. They're able to pay plane tickets, book him on a plane. Yeah, I'm sure that all sounds totally above board. And then the American taxpayers then are refunding the ticket cost for whomever actually did pay for that airline ticket up front.
Absolutely, yes. That's what they're claiming, allegedly. And then Hernando followed up with him because he asked that he had his face blurred. After Hernando blurred his face, he sent the video to him, upheld it. The guy reached back out, and Hernando was asking him more questions. He said, well, how did you know? Like, you were at this facility for 13 days. How did you know that that's what was going on there? Like, how did you know? And he goes, oh, that's the talk. Like, all the migrants that are at these facilities, like the word on the streets inside these facilities that this is what these people are doing. And then not only that, he was complaining that the employees that are getting food that's supposed to be for the migrants, and then they're giving it, then the employees are eating it there. So the employees are eating the food that's supposed to be given to these migrants as well. And he said the food's horrible. It's juice boxes, slices of bread. Not that I am encouraging like giving these people 5-course meals, but when we're paying these NGOs hundreds of millions of dollars, where is that money going? Who audits these companies? Where is the oversight over these NGOs?
Yeah, there is none. There is none. This is a national tragedy. The United States is changing right before our eyes. And if you don't think that this idea of replacing the Americans with illegal immigrants is happening, you're fooling yourself. You're a useful idiot then. It's happening right before your eyes.
Absolutely. And what do you think? I mean, if we have 4 million coming, and then they're not going to stop. So if they're already, and every single time they've ratcheted up. So if we have 4 million coming, you're going to assume the next is going to be 5 and then 6. And before you know it, we're at a point where we've increased the U.S. population size by 10% over a 4-year period. That is absolutely catastrophic. And not only are we doing that, we're also putting some of these people on universal basic income. If you come across the border with a woman and child, you can apply and get $2,200 a month of universal basic income. Healthcare, insurance, food, UBI. I mean, you got it made. The system is broken when you're treating illegal immigrants better than you're treating veterans. Period.
Right. That's exactly what's happening. And all you need to do is look at the riots in Ireland over the past week to see what happens when your entire system is crushed under the weight of migrants. They can't sustain it. The United States is collapsing, and you're watching it happen in real time. Ryan, thank you so much for this. We're keeping our eye, of course, on this caravan throughout the holidays. Most people will be tuned into other things, unfortunately. Hopefully there's members of Congress who are watching this and will try to stop this, to do whatever we can to stop this, because it's fundamentally changing the United States of America right before our eyes. Thank you for this, Ryan. We appreciate it.
Clayton, thank you, man. Thank you for everything that you and your family do. God bless you, man. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much for watching this segment here at Redacted. We are live every day at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, trying to share the stories that the mainstream media will not cover. You should also come over and join our community of Redacted Rebels over at redacted.inc. That's our private locals community where we can share exclusive content that we simply cannot share here on YouTube. Come over and join the rebellion together right now by going to redacted.inc. We'll see you next time.
All right, so now that we got that understand, this thing's getting crazy. They're really invading us. I'm trying to tell you that this is what's really happening. I know I keep saying it. I know, I'm trying to bring all the aspects of everything that's going on. A while ago, I started with the food crisis. I talked about, you know, all the terrorism coming in, everything Biden's doing. Now we're talking about the infiltration. The infiltration is really happening, everybody. Now, understand that China is one of our biggest adversaries. So I just need y'all to understand what's going on. I'm about to bring you into the United States and see what's going on. Check this out.
2 men living in New York City have been charged with conspiring to act as agents of the Chinese government.
And prosecutors say they helped set up and operate a secret Chinese government police station right here in the city. Fox 5's Chris Welch has the latest from Chinatown.
This nondescript office building in the heart of bustling Chinatown in Lower Manhattan has a dark secret.
An ominous description from U.S. Attorney Breon Peace, who says that until several months ago, an entire floor hosted an undeclared outpost station of the Chinese National Police.
Now just imagine the NYPD opening an undeclared secret police station in Beijing. It would be unthinkable.
Lu Jianwang and Chen Jinping, seen in this photo from the criminal complaint, are accused of helping set up the station. But U.S. officials say it was not the type of police force the average American might think of. Instead of combating crimes, they say, they were committing them. Specifically, acts of transnational repression, where a foreign government, in this case China, stalks or intimidates individuals in the United States.
The Chinese National Police appear to have been using the station to track a U.S. resident on U.S. soil.
When the defendants learned that they were under investigation, prosecutors say they deleted communication with the Chinese government official who was giving them instructions.
This is clearly a blatant violation of our national sovereignty.
It shows the PRC's efforts to globalize the oppressive tactics used domestically in China to silence dissent.
And today's charges send a crystal clear response to the PRC that we are on to you. We know what you're doing, and we will stop it from happening in the United States of America.
All right, there we go. They really are infiltrating us. Now, I've been saying for a long time that we're Americans. Whether you're Chinese American, African American so-called, whether you're, I don't know, Irish American or whatever, we're Americans. But if you notice that the Chinese, they even try to keep control of their people that left the country, that really got away years ago, that's in this country right now. They have these police going around harassing them. Like these Chinese government, the CPC, they don't really care. When they talk authoritarianism, that's real authoritarianism. If we get invaded all right, check this out. In war, the winner dictates history and dictates what the rules and regulations of that country is. Okay? So when there's big wars, that's where slavery came from. Because if me and you went to war and I won, guess what? I'm in control of everybody that I just took over in your country. Everybody's under my thumb. That's what Genghis Khan did. That's what all these people did. When they came in and won and pillaged the land and everything, they snatched the women, killed some of the men, some of them became slaves. Whatever they wanted to do to you, they could do because they won. Imagine if China wins. What would they do to America? I keep telling y'all, we're Americans. We're Americans. I don't care whether you like America or not, you're an American. And when they come to start blowing things up and they come after an American, they don't care if you black, if you white, if you young, if you old, what nationality of American you are. They coming after America. Okay? Keep watching.
The threat of Chinese operations inside the U.S. is becoming more clear by the hour. Only days after the DOJ announced arrests connected to a secret Chinese police station in New York, we are learning there could be more. Similar offices have been reported across North America, some in the heart of our country, most in communities with critics of the Chinese Communist Party. Correspondent Evan Lambert is live. Evan, we're learning more about where these have been located and how aggressive China is becoming.
Nicole, this is pretty alarming. Senior FBI intelligence officials telling News Nation today that they see these reports of secret Chinese police stations and Chinese tactics to intimidate dissidents as really reaching an inflection point. They say that lines are being crossed that haven't been crossed before and that authoritarian countries like China and Iran are using new tactics like hiring private investigators to stalk people, even planning to kidnap people that they want to silence. So just this week, federal investigators in New York announcing the arrest of 2 U.S. residents accused of secretly working with the PRC to operate a Chinese police station in Manhattan. Now, a Spanish-based human rights group, Safeguard Defenders, says there are more than 100 of these Chinese outposts in 53 countries across the globe. Here in the U.S., the group saying China has opened the police stations. Think of them more like spy offices in L.A., San Francisco, Houston, undisclosed cities in Nebraska and Minnesota, and New York City. The one connected to this week's charges closed after the FBI started investigating last year. So FBI officials would not confirm the existence of others of these police stations here in the U.S., saying that they can't comment on ongoing investigations. But they do say that one in New York that was operating in New York had a very specific goal, and that was to intimidate China's opponents here in the U.S. Some people living right by the one in Manhattan say they had no idea that it was operating, but frankly, they are not surprised.
No, I wasn't particularly surprised. Nothing really surprised me. People do keep tabs on dissidents, whether through a nonprofit organization or whether through operatives in the field or something. A lot of countries do that. I think they may be aware all along. Let's say if you're a high-profile dissident and you make your way to the United States gave you sanctuary or offer you asylum and all that, you would be aware that you would be followed. It's a stupid man who wouldn't look out for being followed or something.
And Nicole, we obviously have to take this with a grain of salt. China's foreign ministry is saying that these are not police stations, that they are for people to use for things like renewing their driver's licenses. Nicole?
Okay, Evan, thank you. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.
All right, y'all. So you caught that. You see what I'm getting on with this, right? I'm trying to draw a picture. I'm trying to bring y'all in to understand what I'm trying to say. I know I could be all over the place sometimes, showing different clips but I'm trying to bring this all around. Now, you see the invasion. You see the police precincts. You see they here. Now, this next clip I'm going to show you, I'm going to add it. I'm going to say it's a conspiracy clip. I'm just going to say that. But just watch the clip, and when I come back, I'm going to explain to you why I'm doing using conspiracy, but what I really think about it. This is going to get deep, y'all. So I'm telling y'all, you need to be on point. You need to watch what's going on because it's not a joke. Life is real. These people ain't playing with us. You know, through history, how many people governments have killed and don't care? So don't think they won't kill you. Don't think they give a damn about you. Just don't think I'm lying. Don't think I'm bugging out. The government don't care. How many people throughout the world have our government ran up in their countries and they slaughtered them? And it's happening right now. People are being slaughtered all over the world right now by government. Do you think they really care if they starve you to death? If they let you be invaded? A lot of these people in our government sold us out. We got traitors. Straight up traitors in our government. There's people that's in our government that really don't care about nobody here. They hate America. Saul Alinsky, Rules for Radicals. I'm telling y'all. I keep telling y'all, get some of these books. Start reading them. They out there. I think next week I'm going to start reading out titles of books that I think that everybody need to get. But like I said, this next clip that's about to come through, I just want y'all to understand what's happening because it's starting to happen now. It's a narrative. Have you ever watched a movie like, say, any of these movies where there was pandemics and all kinds of stuff and zombie movies? You ever see at the beginning of the movie, it starts off with one virus, 2 kids got a virus in one state. Then it spreads to another state. And then throughout the first 5 minutes of the movie, you see how it spreads throughout the world. This is the beginning of something that's about to spread. I'm telling you, watch closely.
We're learning more today about the terrifying house explosion outside our nation's capital. The blast, captured on cell phone camera, ripped the house apart, sending flames and debris into the air.
That scared the heck out of us. We didn't know what it was.
Shook your house?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it rocked our house.
This is what the house looked like before the explosion. a duplex, two connected two-bedroom homes. And here it is after, reduced to a pile of charred rubble. Through the trees behind me, you can see what's left of the house. There's a burned out car in the driveway. The blast scattered debris all over this neighborhood. There's wreckage in the trees. Many of the neighbors' windows were blown out by the force of the explosion. It is a mess. So, what sparked the disaster in this quiet suburb? The drama began Monday afternoon when neighbors say the man who lives in the house, James Yu, started firing flares from his backyard. And not just one or two, 30 to 40. When the cops tried to make contact with Yu, they say he opened fire on them. Then, just as they were moving in, the house exploded.
We need all fire apparatus. The house has exploded, I believe.
Neighbors say while they were stunned by the blast, they were not entirely surprised. The homeowner is being described today as a paranoid recluse who covered his windows with aluminum foil. His social media accounts are filled with unhinged rants.
The suspect was inside the residence at the time of the explosion, and he is presumed at this point to be deceased.
Yeah, like I'm saying, y'all, I think that things about to hit the fan, that this is just the beginning. When I look at that clip, first thing come to my mind is, what did he use to blow that house up with? Because it wasn't gas. They would have known. They would have shut the gas lines off right away. That explosion was it looked like that explosion was right in one spot. Was he a demolition expert? Because that was a nice explosion. Leveled that whole house in one footprint. Second thing I look at is 30 to 40 flares. What are flares for? Have any of y'all went hunting before? Have you ever been in the woods before? Have you any of y'all been on a boat before? Do you know what the flares are for? What is flares for? And then he shot off 30 or 40 of them. Me, conspiracy theory, the way I look at that is, was that a signal? Does that mean 30, 40 days from the time he did that? What does 30 or 40 mean? What does that represent? 30, 40 days from when he did that brings us around Christmas, maybe 4 or 5 days after New Year's, the 40th day from when he did this. What does that mean? And you got to remember, just like the Taliban and all the other terrorists, these people that take their life, they're dedicated. A lot of times, a lot of these people that's in China, they'll tell you, if you don't do what I say, your family's going to end up in a gulag in China, and they don't be playing. So a lot of people come over here and do things like that so their family could live and their whole family could be good for the rest of their lives. It's a sacrifice. To them, in China, he did it for the country. So they're going to take care of the family now. If he really did that, oh man, his family's taken care of. Facts. So, when I sit here and I try to explain to y'all and show y'all what's going on, everything, just watch it. I'm telling y'all. Them people in the Twin Towers, man, we was told we'll never get hit in America. What happened to all them people that passed away, that died in the Twin Towers when them planes hit? Nobody ever thought that would happen, so nobody was expecting a plane to hit a building. So everybody thought they were safe. Keep thinking you're safe. Keep thinking none of this stuff is going to happen. You know how many countries that the United States invaded and millions of kids were killed? Women, children, men. They're just bombing buildings, just dropping bombs on people. You know how many people Obama used those drones on and killed innocent civilians, just innocent people? Look it up. Look how that's all Obama did was drop drones. He used drones. Remember, Obama was the drone king. All he did was use drones and just start blowing things up. A lot of people say he was actually, making a path for the Muslim Brotherhood. Conspiracy theory. But yeah, check it out. Do your research. Go back in time. Look how many drones Obama just dropped. That's just him. And remember, he was a black dude, and he was dropping bombs on all kinds of people, black people over there. He didn't care, so I don't care about race. It's going down right now. America's done it a lot of times. What makes you think other countries won't do it to us? You don't think they want to get payback? Ron Paul just called it blowback. Yeah. The great Ron Paul. Rand Paul's father. Yeah, Ron Paul. I voted for him. So just be on point what's coming on. Don't think it ain't going to happen. Don't think it'll never happen to you. See, they'll tell you all the time, never underestimate your opponent. Am I correct? So if China and all these countries are our enemies, that means they're our opponent. Are you underestimating them? I'm not. I'm on point. Trust me. I watch and I look and I see and I stay on point from the way I sit in restaurants. Some of them I don't even go in if it's too big and you got to sit way in the back. It ain't happening. Watch the way I walk down the street, who's around me. I don't like crowds. You better watch it. I'm not trying to scare nobody or nothing, but I'm telling you right now, I would not go nowhere near that Super Bowl celebration. I would not go nowhere near the ball dropping in New York. I'm telling you right now, these people are trying to get us. And the sooner they start it, the worse it's going to be. Trust me, if they start now, come January, think about it. Imagine all this stuff start going off right in the middle of a winter. Right smack dab in the middle of the winter. Man, listen, I'm keeping it real. Me, if I was trying to go against something, man, you got to think like them. Like if it was you, what would you do? How would you go? How would you attack? What would your strategy be? Do you know how to play chess? What would your strategy be? How would you go about doing it? How would you take America down if it was your choice? If you had a chance to do it, how would you do it? And that's the way I look at things. What's their choice? How are they doing? What would they do to do it to us? So anyway, I'm just saying, just to stay on point, just know that is real. Things are going down. January is going to be crazy. And I'm about to show you some new stuff in January that's about to be crazy. So just, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for the next clip. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Tiger Talk Perspective. This is episode 5. Thank you for stopping in. I appreciate everybody hanging out with me tonight. Today's going to be an interesting show. I'm going to try to do, some creative things again. Not too much to talk about in the political realm. So I just got one quick clip on the show for the political realm. I hope y'all like it. And then we're going to move on. Like I said on my last podcast, I got a bunch of clips I want y'all to see concerning the border. And then we'll move into a couple of other things as far as finances and what's coming down the pike as far as, the financial realm. Things that's going to happen coming in January. I really think everybody needs to know this. That's why I keep pushing it. I know this podcast is mostly, I said it's pushing marriage, family. It's just things are going to get so bad, pushing, the nuclear family, the extended family and education and, things like that. But I really feel that the finances and the political realm and all that's part of education. That's part of family, so you could prepare, so you could take care of your family and stuff like that. So, I hope you understand what I'm trying to say and what I'm trying to do. So, without further ado, let's just get into the first clip, and I hope you enjoy it.
Hello and welcome back. Thank you for joining. If you're new to my channel, I hope that you consider subscribing both on YouTube and on Rumble. Give this video a like and follow me on Substack for more content. The new year looks very promising for the BRICS bloc. As of January 1st, 5 new countries officially joined the bloc: Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE. I will remind you that just a couple of days ago, the president of Argentina, Javier Milei, sent a letter to Russia and to China, officially informing them of his decision not to join the bloc. Of course, it had been announced previously many times and wasn't really a true surprise. This year, the BRICS share of the global GDP is expected to increase. Last year, in 2023, it was expected to surpass the GDP of G7 countries. As you can see here, G7 countries were expected to end the year at 29.9% of global GDP, while the BRICS bloc, even prior to the new memberships taking effect this year, was expected to end the year at 32.1%. We don't have the final figures yet, of course. Imagine what these numbers will look like this year in 2024 once the Saudi and the UAE crude oil trade is factored in. Even though the BRICS bloc consists of quote-unquote developing economies, they should not be underestimated. I see this very often in the comments where people write these countries off, but I think it is rather naive to do so. For one, they now account for nearly half of global population, and they control extremely vast reserves of natural resources that are becoming more and more important. There are two major developments to be aware of this year. In the near term, the BRICS bloc is set to challenge the existing financial world structure in more ways than one. It has already created an alternative to the IMF and the World Bank. It has its own new development bank, or the BRICS Bank, as well as the contingent reserve arrangement. I have an entire video on my channel covering the BRICS Bank in detail, where I explain how it works and what its main goals are. The BRICS Bank has been funding a variety of infrastructure programs in the countries of the so-called Global South, using local currencies and providing more favorable loan terms than the Western counterparts. This year, we should see increased economic impact of the bloc as major players such as oil and natural gas producers, the UAE, Saudi Arabia, and Iran become full members. This brings us to the next point that I would like to make. It is the impact that the BRICS will have on the energy sector. Now that it controls nearly half of global crude oil production, the bloc has the capability to influence global markets and energy policies. Also, last but not least, the bloc is advocating for major reforms in international order. They're seeking more representation and they're seeking fairness, as well as for their interests to be taken into account and to be respected. This relates to international law, certainly to trade terms, and effectively doing away with the practices that originated during the colonized past of many of the bloc's members. In 2024, BRICS chairmanship passes to Russia. So what should we expect? The main goals are summarized in the motto, strengthening multilateralism for equitable global development and security. So we should expect the main goal to be a strong initiative for multipolarity in its various aspects: financial, economic, geopolitical, humanitarian, and cultural, with the BRICS members primarily being centered around more traditional value systems, let's say that. For example, 2024 has been announced as the year of family in the Russian Federation, where traditional values are being emphasized and fully supported. With that being said, I would expect de-dollarization to be front and center. The members of the BRICS bloc will prioritize ditching the dependency on the dollar. To do that, we should expect to see the development of a new financial system with its basket of currencies that would become a strong alternative to the Western system, where these countries' central bank reserves and their standing are viewed as risky. And as we know full well, based on the initiative to steal or to confiscate and to spend $300 billion in Russian central bank assets that I discussed previously, this is viewed as completely unacceptable by the global majority, and it drives them to ditch the dollar and do away with the Western-led financial system. By developing a basket of currencies and using them to support the cross-border trade, the BRICS members will strengthen their own developing economy, so it will serve them very, very well. The BRICS bloc is heavily focused on commodities too. There is a global race to secure natural resources that are vital to satisfy both consumer and industrial demand, as well as to plan for the transition to sustainable energy resources. This is exactly why we're seeing copper surge in price. Lithium is another sought-after resource. I will have an entire video on the race to secure access to natural resources. So if you're interested to watch that video, make sure that you ring the bell, turn on notifications so that you don't miss that video. The next priority that I would like to point out is the expansion of the bloc. It is poised to grow this year. There are reports that the bloc will focus on the requirements and the process of accepting new member states. As we know, there are close to 40 countries that have either formally applied to join or expressed their interest or their intent to join. So there is absolutely no denying the fact now at this point in time that the bloc, once described as the Global South, is slowly but surely becoming the bloc of the global majority. It has been emphasized that in 2024, they will spare no effort to facilitate the integration of new participants in all formats of its activities. There are over 200 events at different levels already planned this year in Russia, so I'm sure that they have quite a bit in the pipeline. Nobody discussed multipolarity several years ago, you may remember this, but look how far it has come in recent years. Even State Secretary Anthony Blinken not too long ago acknowledged that we're witnessing historic events, we're witnessing them unfold in front of our eyes, and the shift in power is quickly changing. Now, very quickly, I would like to thank the sponsor of today's video, my friends at ExpressVPN. ExpressVPN offers best-in-class encryption that keeps your internet traffic protected from hackers and from snoops. It uses the industry's most advanced VPN server and it gives you control over your online privacy and how your data is being used. You can connect 5 devices at the same time simultaneously with just one subscription. It's worth investing in protecting your whole home with ExpressVPN. Use ExpressVPN link that I shared in the video description below to claim your 3 full months of completely free service. I appreciate your time. Thank you for joining me. As we're just about to start the new tax season, I want to invite you to join my second channel available on YouTube and on Rumble. You get to pick for quick tax tips that will help you pay less taxes, as well as personal finance and small business content. Just the other day, for example, I uploaded an entire video with 6 very easy tips to help you avoid paying taxes. Hopefully you will find it interesting and helpful. Definitely check it out. I will see you in the new one tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day. Bye for now.
Now, if you notice what she was trying to say about the BRICS, what they're trying to push is they're trying to go back to the traditional values. They're bucking against the West. And I'm not going to start chastising anybody and what they like and what they do and what their sexualities and what their lifestyle is. But basically, that's what they're talking about. They're trying to bring back traditional values again across the country, across the world. From Africa, they're against the homosexuality. Russia, they're against that. Do you know that in Russia, if you plant any seed that's a GMO, you're considered a terrorist? You're not allowed to push vaccines. You're not allowed to grow bad foods. You're not allowed to do any of that stuff. The West is the only country that push the untraditional values, let's just say. You know what I mean? So this is what's going on, and they're really going hard. So do not underestimate the BRICS. The BRICS right now is about to be 50%, more than 50% of the world GDP, of the world oil and energy resources. That means that they got power, and this is just the beginning. The rest of the countries haven't joined yet, so do not sleep on it. Right now is a big, I would call it a worldwide civil war. That's what I would consider it. But there's a civil war on the planet where many, many factions are going against each other. And a lot of people are fighting for traditionalism again. Honestly, that's what this platform is for. I'm into traditionalism. I'm a male chauvinist. I believe women shouldn't work. I believe the father, the man, should take care of the household. I believe we are the protectors and the providers, and that's our duty as men. I really, really believe that. That's just me. A lot of people don't, but that's how I believe. If a woman wants to work, that's her prerogative. I'm not going to ask her to pay everything. If she want to help something, that's fine. If, I don't know, I catch a cold, have to take off a day, got to do jury duty, anything, and she's working, she got to pay a bill or two, that's fine. But I'm not putting the weight of life on my woman. That's just something I'm not going to do. That's just, I believe that. That's welcome to the Tiger Talk Tree perspective. That's my perspective. But what we're going to do, we're going to move on, because now I want to move into the immigration. So I explained in the first part of this podcast today, you've seen the clips about the immigration and what's coming over the border. Let's see what's happening since then.
U.S. border officials processed an estimated 300,000 migrants in December. That is a record high. CBS's Astrid Martinez explains how this influx of migrants is straining resources across the country.
A new year and a new set of buses carrying migrants to various cities across the U.S. This weekend, 350 asylum seekers flown in from the southern border boarded buses to Chicago after landing in Rockford, Illinois. Their transportation north, arranged by Texas Governor Greg Abbott. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson said on Face the Nation, city officials were given no notice.
The rogue buses that are being dropped off across this country in the middle of the night, leaving people with no real support at all, no coordination with the local municipalities. That type of chaos is certainly dividing our country.
Chicago is just one city dealing with the influx and now cracking down on buses bringing in migrants without advance notice. Last week, New York City Mayor Eric Adams issued an emergency order to restrict bus arrivals, but that hasn't stopped busloads of migrants now being dropped off at train stations in New Jersey with easy access to the city. Adams says the migrant crisis will cost New York $12 billion by 2025. This comes as the U.S. Border Patrol manages a record migrant surge. Agents are processing 250,000 new arrivals each month, in December hitting an all-time high of 300,000 migrants.
We're full. Don't come.
CBS News has learned that the White House is open to immigration reforms, including an authority to expel migrants and suspend asylum law in exchange for aid for Ukraine.
Start deporting people here who should be, deported, then you'll turn things around pretty quickly.
And the Texas governor signed a new law that would take effect in March, allowing state officials to arrest and prosecute migrants coming into the country illegally. However, the Justice Department said it will sue Texas if that law is implemented. Major?
Astrid Martinez, thank you.
All right, everybody. That's basically the migration is still going, and the bad thing about it is that believe it or not, a lot of these mayors in these Democratic cities, they're the ones that actually told the government and everybody, hey, come here. Y'all could all come here. Come to our cities. We open borders. You can come straight through. The mayor of New York City said it. Remember, the mayor of Chicago said it, and a lot of these other places said it. So when they start sending the migrants there, that's what you expect. But the problem with it is, I'm going to take it a different direction from my perspective. See, just looking at the migrant crisis and what's going on in this country as far as let's just say the finances, the food crisis, the wars coming and everything. That's just couple of aspects of it. But the aspects I look at is this AI. See, when you think about it from the technology point, they say AI is about to take away millions of jobs. So if they flood this country with almost 250,000 people a month, in 5 months, that's a couple of million more people. Since all last year, how many millions were sent here? So if the jobs are about to be taken away because of AI, that's very limited jobs that's going to be here. So even they can't take our jobs. So what are they doing? I'm telling you what they're doing. If you listen to that clip, what they said was, if we will start sending these migrants back, and we will start sending these migrants back and charging them and all this other stuff, if we could do that, we'll take that money and send it to Ukraine. So is that the way that the Biden administration is trying to find more money to fund Ukraine? Because if you notice that Ukraine war is losing. And in my perspective, Ukraine was just a money pot. It was a embezzlement system. It was a whole bunch of things going on where the leaders was using that country to funnel all that negative things they were doing, from all types of, what would you call it? Scientific things where they was coming up with viruses and diseases. Excuse me. To everything like that. So, I don't know. It's just weird. It's weird to me. There's something going on that they're not telling us, because all of a sudden they're ready to start locking these migrants up, and then our country's going to sue Texas for doing that. So like I said, there's a lot of lies going on. There's a lot of things going on behind the scenes, and I think we're going to fall, or they're trying to make us fall purposely. Like I said, there's a book called Rules for Radicals. Anybody that get a chance to read that book, just check it out. It's not a long read. It's a quick read. But anyway, I'm gonna pivot from that now, and I'm just gonna go into this conspiracy thing. I've been wanting to talk about this for a while, especially since I got my videos taken down. That was a weird feeling. I heard people that get banned and flagged and all this other stuff for things they show in their videos, but when it happened to you, it's just a weird feeling. And basically what I was doing is I was doing a review on this movie that the Obamas executive produced on Netflix. And basically after watching that movie, I came up with three things that I think is gonna happen because of that movie. Now, once I said it, they took it down, said I couldn't say what I was saying, but I'm gonna try it again. This time I'm trying to reword it. So the first thing I felt from that movie is that is of course trying to start a race war. That's obvious. If you watch that movie on Netflix, it's really trying to start a race war. It's really trying to get us really against each other. It's like the more we as people start uniting, blacks, white, Asian, Muslim, any religion, as we start uniting and start working to get things together, they always have to throw that monkey wrench in and be like, nah, y'all can't be friends. Nah, y'all can't get cool. So that movie is to get people to, and I'm gonna say ignorant people, because I always said you never met an intelligent races. And when I say races, there's all kinds of races. Black, white, Spanish, whatever nationality you are, there's races in every culture. Let's keep it real. You know, that can't be debated. So racism is real. But I keep saying that I don't think racism would be the definitive factor in the downfall of this country or of any other country. I don't think that's what it's gonna be. If you really sit back and watch, I believe that it's gonna be classism. Period. Just strictly classism. Either you're rich or you're poor. They're trying to get rid of the middle class. So if the middle class does survive somehow, and there is ever any middle class, that's division. Division is going to be classism. The division is going to come from debt. It's going to come from assets. What you own, what you have, what don't you have. It's not going to be about color or religion or anything like that. That's going to be the fallacies. Anybody fall for that, it's your fault for whatever happens after that. Don't let the racism be the contributing factor. Second thing that I got from that movie is they're really trying to convince us, the people, that the cabal, the deep state, the puppet masters, the string pullers, the kingmakers, the gatekeepers, the elitists, the cabal, whatever you want to call them, that they don't exist. That everything happens randomly. That all the chaos is going to be just a explosion of just something that just happened and nobody knows how it got there. And that's not true. That can't be true. It's called order out of chaos. Order out of chaos. Order out of chaos. Look it up and you'll see how many times the leaders use that word. Order out of chaos. Now, who creates the chaos? They can make you think you created the chaos, or they can make you think somebody else created the chaos. But what they trying to make you think is that they did not have anything to do with it. Their hands are clean. They have nothing to do with it. So when this reset comes, hopefully people will forget and think that they don't exist and keep moving on. Nah, don't ever forget that. They are puppet masters. They are the leaders. They're all cabal. They are the deep state. These things do exist. Call them what you want. Come up with your own name. It don't matter. There's somebody above everything that's trying to control you, society, and everything else. We all agree on that, I believe. If you don't, you don't have to, but I do. And finally, the part that I really think got my video banned, canceled, taken off, or whatever, flagged, is this statement right here. I believe that whole movie is a psyop. The whole movie, everything about the movie is a psyop. And the outcome of the psyop is this. It's designed, notice that they made you know and let you know that it was the Obamas that was part of that movie. And everybody's asking, why would the Obamas make a movie like this? Why would they do this? This is my opinion. This is Tiger Talltree's perspective of a movie, okay? I believe that this movie's set up to make everybody think, especially blacks and Hispanics, people that rock with Obama, even the white people, but mostly blacks, would think that the Obamas, shoot, I would even say just Democrats alone, all Democrats, blacks and Democrats, all right? To convince these people that the Obamas was that cool ass brother that came out and told everybody what was going on. Oh shit, the Obamas knew? Oh, he was president? He came out and they came out and told us what was going on? Soul brother number one, you know, he was cool, man. He let the rappers in the White House. He did all of this. Oh, they warning us. He was in the White House. He found out all the secrets and he revealed them to us so that we could prepare and all this. And everybody's going to feel like Obama's that, I don't know, that false prophet Yeah, that's what's gonna happen. Everybody gonna feel like Obama's once again, like Jamie Foxx said, "Oh, that's your daddy." No, nigga, that's your daddy. My father, I got a father. All right, Obama was never my father. I hate when people used to say that. I couldn't stand when Jamie Foxx said that. I hated that dude so bad, and I don't really like to say I hate, but I could not stand that statement, that man. I mean, they was on Obama's family jewels so hard. Come on, man. So basically what they're gonna do, they're gonna make you think that Obama and his wife, Michelle, came out and told everybody, that the whole world, hey, listen, this is what they're gonna do. This is behind the scenes, and this movie was really supposed to be a psychological evaluation so we can let y'all know what's going on so y'all can be prepared. And then when it happens, oh shoot, Obama really did warn us. Nah, that's not what it's for. It's for Michelle to swoop in sometime next year. I say maybe midsummer, almost towards the end of the summer. They're not gonna give her a lot of time. They're gonna be talking about it a lot, but she won't really throw her hat into it until maybe, I give it maybe August. August will give a couple of months so you get hard body see, and they'll force her on you real quick, and she'll swoop in with a super cape, do the exact same thing Obama did. Nothing to get where he was at. Nothing. What did he really do? I think he was an activist and a senator and president. You don't see a plan? But anyway, this is just my opinion, Tiger Tortry's perspective. I have a right to my opinion. This is America. And I believe that the homie was a psyop, and I would like to warn everybody, don't believe it. Because when y'all see this coming, I want to put it in your head. I want to plant that seed so y'all be aware of these psyops. Predictive programming. They start getting you convinced about things early, and slowly start implanting them in your brain. What we need to do is start plucking that stuff back out. Nah, we ain't dealing with it. That's what I personally think. It's a big giant psyop. I keep saying Michelle Obama's coming in. There's nobody else on this planet that could beat Donald Trump. Nobody. And they know it. They can't bring nobody in that's going to go against the orange toad. Yeah, look at his hair. They call him the orange toad. Nobody's beating him. Everybody want him. You got people. I seen a clip where dudes that escaped from Iran, came through Turkey, through Mexico, came up to into America, and he's saying, even as an immigrant coming to America illegally, and Trump saying that he would send all these people back, they still want Trump. So the biggest problem, I'm telling you right now, even the immigrants that the Democrats think that they flood in this country with, they not voting for them. They're not stupid. Why would they do that? They running from their countries for a reason. They won't run to this country to all of a sudden to be put back in the same thing. It makes no sense. Why would you do that? Why would you run from one shitty hole to another shitty hole? It just don't make no sense. You're going to be in a hole again, and it's going to be shitty. So that's not what's really happening. They're bringing these people over here with the intention of thinking that they're going to vote the Democrat way, and I think they're starting to realize that they're not. This is why they're saying that these terrorists is coming through. Trust me, they here. We've known it. You don't gotta be an A+ student to realize that. Yeah, don't think that. I got a clip I want y'all to check out, all right? Because we're gonna go into the next part of this conspiracy. Because remember, it's not just that first movie. There's another movie. All right? And remember, just look up predictive programming. They tell you things. They let you know what they're gonna do. They get you prepared for it so it don't be such a shock. It's not a shock at all when they do it. So they get you prepared. And they prepare you by constantly putting it in your face. They constantly say trigger words and dog whistles and, you know what I mean, little things they say that get you prepared psychologically when you don't even realize you're being prepared. So check this out.
19 states have seceded.
The United States Army ramps up activity.
The White House issued warnings to the Western forces as well as the Florida Alliance.
The three-term president assures the uprising will be dealt with swiftly.
Let me know if you want to try anything on.
I guess aware there's like a pretty huge civil war going on all across America.
We just try to stay out. With what we see on the news, seems like it's for the best.
Citizens of America, the so-called Western forces of Texas and California have suffered a very great defeat at the hands of the United States military.
Mr. President, do you regret the use of airstrikes against American citizens?
They're moving to D.C. today.
We need to go down there.
They shoot journalists on sight in the Capitol. Every instinct in me says this is death. Bloody.
Every time I survived a war zone, I thought I was sending a warning home. Don't do this. But here we are.
There's some kind of misunderstanding here. What? Well, you're American, okay? Okay. What kind of American are you? You don't know?
The Western forces will reach the White House on July 4th.
Oh my God.
Get in the car! Get in the car!
Move, move, move!
You're gonna hang back.
I'm not hanging back.
One nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Go, 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 go!
God bless America.
All right, y'all. Now, there's a couple of reasons why I played that video. The reason why I played that video, because that one is also predictive programming. And I need everybody to know that. That's what it's called. It's called predictive programming. Now, I'm going to tell you what I think is going to happen and why that movie's put out and how things are going to jump off. And I don't want to be the one to say this, but because I'm reading the tea leaves, as they say, I believe that's what's going to happen this year, is that a lot of these journalists are going to start getting attacked. That's what that movie's telling you. That's what I got from that movie right there. The predictive programming in that movie, notice what they said, journalists get killed going into the Capitol. So I believe that is the journalist that's going to be the one that's going to be, that they're going to be going after first to set it off. I think it's going to be the journalist. Now, also in that movie, there's something out that I want to show you when I tell you about predictive programming. Listen.
Automatic weapon. You can't go out and buy a cannon. And for those brave right-wing Americans who say it's all about keeping America's independent and safe, if you want to fight against the country, you need an F-15. You need something a little more than a gun. No, I'm not joking. Think about this. Think about the rat.
See, and when he says stupid things, people laugh at him when he say that. But notice in that movie when they was like, you're going to use F-16 against the American people, and they dropped all them bombs on them? Yeah, they'll do that, and he'll do it. And he's letting you know he'll do it. He's letting you know that. See, this is what it is. The Constitution gave us the right to bear arms so that we could defend ourselves from terrorist, domestic or foreign terrorism. So that means that if you're a domestic terrorist, could be the government. I'm not saying it is. It could be a domestic organization. It could be our government. It could be other people within this country. But that's the purpose of our having the Second Amendment, ability to have firearms to defend ourselves. That's what it's for. And basically he's telling you right there that your guns don't mean nothing if you ain't got an F-16. And yeah, they will drop it on you. So what I'm telling y'all right now is like, get this dude out of there. I'm telling y'all right now, I'm telling you, if y'all vote for Democrats this year, ooh, I'm telling y'all, they telling y'all. They letting you know how it's going to be. What kind of American are you? I thought it was only one American. See, that's why when I keep telling you, stop saying you're African American or Black American, Chinese American or Jewish American or whatever American. Just say you're freaking American. We all Americans. The enemy don't care if you're a Chinese American. The enemy don't care if you're a Black American. The enemy don't care if you're a Jewish American. The enemy don't care what kind of American you are. You're just an American. So when he made that statement, what kind of American are you? You're just an American. And they don't like you. Like I said on my TikTok video, everybody, we live in Babylon. Everybody wants to take Babylon down. And whether they say go back to Africa, go back to your country, go back to Mexico, go back to Ireland, go back to Israel, go back wherever you came from, you can't. You can't. Right now you can't. You're stuck where you at. It's called hunkering down. You can't run. So what do? You got to defend your land. We all Americans, y'all. Whether you like to hear that word or not, whether you want to admit it to yourself or not, we all are American. If you was born in this country, or you got your citizenship in the country. We all Americans. It don't matter what title comes before the word American. That's what's dividing us. That word before American. Throw that word out. Stick straight to the word American. If we do that, that's how we unite. But as long as they keep saying you're an African American, you're a Jewish American, you're a Mexican American, you're a Puerto Rican American, you know what I mean? You're I don't know, you're an Israeli American, you're Arab American. No, 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 no. You're Japanese American. Come on now, how's that? You're American. Okay? We got to stick to that, y'all. We got to know what that means. This is how they're doing that divide and conquer. If we're going to survive this year, 2024, we better unite. All you Spanish people that don't like Mianas, come on, bruh. We not that bad, B. All you white people out there that say you don't like blacks, come on, man. For what? All you blacks out there saying you don't like whites, for what? This is what I always tell people. Since my platform is about education also. Do you think it's a detriment to Caucasian people for them not to know the real history also? You understand what I'm saying? So when they don't tell blacks about our history and they don't tell whites about their history, that means we all being manipulated. So even if they being manipulated through the culture or the system that's being put to oppress us, truthfully, they being oppressed too because they don't really know much. They're not really being told the truth either. So when things hit, they get stuck. They get lost. It wasn't black people jumping out the buildings when the stock market crashed. There was a whole lot of white men jumping out of there. They were the one making the millions. We didn't jump. We just went back home because we was already poor. See how the system could backfire on you? They put white people up so high that when things go bad and they fall, that's their detriment. They can't handle it. And then with other people, they make us so poor that we never get up. So then that's to our detriment. But don't you notice the leaders always stay where they at? The leaders always got their bodyguards. The leaders always got their guns. The leaders always got their redoubts and their backup plans. Y'all better do the same thing. You think there's a bunch of leaders sitting around a table and there's no black people at that table? You never heard about black nobility? Y'all better do your research. Y'all better find out who the real Moors are. Y'all better find out who the real people. Why? Go look on the YouTube right now and ask why the Pope is kissing all those black people's feet. Why is he doing that? Go ahead, act, real talk. Open your eyes. Get out the matrix. There's things going on that y'all don't know. And everybody's being manipulated. But I believe that now the great ascension is happening. That people are starting to wake up. That people are starting to open their eyes. And that's not me doing it. There's so many people out here on these platforms right now helping people open their eyes and see where things are going. And it seems like things can go in the right direction. If we stay focused, if we understand what's going on, if we understand what's happening, if we work together and if we plan, they work together. Why can't we as a society do the same thing so we could survive? So we can't keep being manipulated. That's just my perspective, everybody. This is the Tiger Talk perspective for the first week of 2024. Now I'm about to get into what my perspective for this year is. And basically it's this. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I'm going someplace totally where y'all wouldn't think I'm going with this. And this is it. I got a house full of girls, y'all. And it's crazy raising daughters. I'll be honest with you. It's crazy raising daughters. I never thought that I'd see myself in a position Tiger raising 3 girls. And over the last couple of months of my daughters starting to talk to me since I lost their moms and we lost their moms and the house is different. They start talking to me more. I'm starting to get the conversations now and it's just little things that I wasn't really prepared for. And I'll give you an example. This is just a quick story to let you know when I'm coming from when I say I'm glad my daughters are starting to talk to me and watching them grow up and just aspects of life that I have never seen yet. I have an older daughter outside of my marriage, prior to being married. And I never really got the chance to see this stage of her life, of a child of mine's life, And unfortunately, I missed that. But with my 3 daughters now, I'm starting to see it.
And I'll give y'all an example. Me and Yolanda's oldest daughter, she came home one day and she was saying, some boy, he was he just kept calling her the wrong name. Let's just say he was calling her Calissa. Hey, Calissa, how you doing, Calissa? What's up, Calissa? How you doing, Calissa? And she like, yo, this boy keep getting on my nerve, Dad. Like, he just keep calling me the wrong name. Like, he's just annoying. So the boy keeps calling her name, Calissa, 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 Calissa. And then one day my daughter snaps on him. My name ain't Calissa. So she goes around and tell the boy her real name. Right after that, he stands up and just walks past and was like, say my daughter's name is Jenny. He was like, hey, how you doing, Jenny? Just like that. And she just looked at him. And so every day this boy walks up to him and was like, how you doing, Jenny? Good morning, Jenny. And now she comes back and tells me that this is what he's doing. And I start laughing. I'm like, that boy got some good game. And she was like, what? I'm like, yeah, like, respect to whoever his dad is. I respect the little man's dad. But it had to be a dad that told him to do this. And I'm going to tell you what I'm talking about. The little boy got my daughter to tell him her real name. Because I asked him, like, if he would have came up to you and asked you, what's your name? Would you give it to him? She's like, no. I'm like, okay. So how did he get your name? And she's looking at me and I'm like, yeah, he ran game on you. He got you so frustrated. He told you the wrong name so much that eventually you told him your real name. Now he know your real name. And he's like, yo, whatever. And see, that's not the part of the story that just, as a dad, got me a little off balance, let's just say. It's the fact that when I was like, yeah, he ran game on you, girl. And the way she looked at me and she smiled. Like, what? I'm like, yeah, he just ran some real G on you. And I'm like, I respect his dad for that, because he did it with respect. And she looked at me, and just the way she looked at me and just the way she looked, I think that was the first time she really understood boys liking her. And oh my God, Jesus, Christmas. She's already talking about driving next year. I said before, she already told me that she wanted to go take gun lessons. So now we got gun lessons, driver's ed next year, going to 11th grade. Like, oh my goodness, man. And man, listen, I don't think I'm ready for this, y'all. This is the part that's really getting nervous. Now I'm starting to ready to start put more cameras around the house. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just a weird feeling. And I guess you dads that been through this already know what I'm talking about. I got an older daughter. Like I said, I never experienced this part yet. And then I'm doing it by myself. So it's kind of difficult. Well, I won't say difficult, not the difficult. It's kind of new. It's kind of fun. It's kind of nerve wracking to watch your daughters grow up. So with that being said, fellas, please raise your boys to be like that young man right there. And whoever his father is, man, that's what's up, son. You taught your son something really, really, really nice. You told him how to be respectful to a young man's daughter. And I respect that young man for that. Real talk. I respect his parents for that. I like the way he did it. He did it with class. He did it smooth. And he still came with that bop. And I like that little kid for that. You know what I mean? And that's basically what I'm trying to say in this perspective, is that, watching your kids grow up is a blessing. It's still hard going through what I'm going through, raising them by myself without their mom. But I'm sure there's a lot of us out there raising our children by ourselves. So I'm not gonna act like I'm the only one doing it. I'm unique, and I'm not. But it's unique to me right now. And I'm having fun with it, man. She made me smile, and just the way she talked to me and the way they open up to me now. And she was telling me how usually for the last couple of years, every year, she just come home every day and talk to her mom about what's going on. And like my middle daughter was like, yeah, Dad, we're gonna have to start all over. And, I didn't understand what she meant, but when you start knowing your kids' friends at a young age, say it's 5 and 6, and now they're 15 and 16, they still friends with the stories that they tell you and the things, how they became friends and all the ups and downs and the people they're not friends with no more. I don't know all of that. Their moms did. So they're pretty much trying to catch me up on their stories and things. And, I'm accepting it. I'm appreciating it. And I take it as a great blessing. I feel like dad They make me feel like dad. They make me feel like I'm the man in the house and I'm still daddy. And I really love these girls for that. So with that being said, and my perspective is, fathers out there, if you get a chance, man, and you was like me with a traditional family and you worked every day and we get up, we work 10, 15 hours a day, 14 hours a day, whether you work, like I said, work for somebody and still have your own business like me. I got a job, but I still have my own business. So, that's even more just trying to get things working and everything. If you one of the guys like me, fellas, man, I'm telling you right now, take time to go talk to your kids. Even if it's 5 minutes. They might not talk to you right away, but just keep talking to them. Keep talking to them. Let them know. I tell my kids I love you even when you think I don't. Every time I give them a kiss or give them a hug, I give them one for their moms, just to let them know that she still love them and, it was made out of love. But talking to your kids is important, man. I'm telling you, man. It's an amazing feeling when they really talk back to you and they really let you know what's going on and they doing it out of sheer love for the family, just talking to your dad. And I love my little girls. I love all my daughters. Even my daughter in New York, who I haven't seen in a while. I still love you too, Giovanna. But yeah, y'all. Talk to the kids, fellas, especially all those fellas that go out there and work hard every day. Sometimes we take it for granted that we're the ones out there working and we come home, the house is safe, the kids is nice, the house is clean, the wife is happy. We feel like we're doing our job, but sometimes we got to go a little bit further and just find 5 or 10, 15 minutes to pull the kids to the side. Even if you do it every day, find a separate 5 or 10 minutes, make it different, make it unique so they could see that you're trying. Because one thing we got to do, and I learned, and I'm glad I've always did it with my kids, is I've always tried to talk to them. So under these negative circumstances with us losing their mom, by me talking to them at such an early age and just going in the room, I know you know how dads do. We go in the room, jump on their bed, hey, what's up? What y'all doing? My daughter like, take your boots off, take your shit, ain't get dressed. I'm like, all right. But they still miss those times. They still give us hugs for that. You know what I mean? You stink, dad. Go take a shower. I'm like, I just came home from work. I want some hugs. Nah, not yet. You know how you play with them. They're growing up, man. And I'm growing up with them and I love what I'm seeing. So that's what I'm trying to say. When I say I promote the marriage, the nuclear family, the extended family, I really mean that, y'all. Like, we got to talk to our family. We got to talk to our kids. We got to have just little 5, 6 minute conversation. Even if you take your kids, walk me to the mailbox. What? Walk me to the mailbox. And just that 5 minutes means something. So dads, if you haven't seen your kids in a while like me, my oldest daughter up in New York, try. You know what I mean? It might not work, but you at least try. Send a little card, send a little note, send something. Because it means something. Family means something. And trust me, your kids want to talk to you. Even if they think they don't. They want to talk to you. They want to get to know their parents. They want to know us. My dad died when I was young, and I swear to this day, I wish my dad was here. I would have loved to be able to talk to my dad and really get to know him. I'm sure my little sister would, my older sister would, my brothers would, everybody would. We miss our dad. Now I miss my mom. I'm 52 years old, and I still wish my mom was here. As you call my mom's cool one. So with that being said, y'all, like, I really, 2024, I want to push. I can't make people get married. I can't make people do that. The only thing I could do is try to convince people that marriage is a good thing. But you got to find the right one. Having children is a good thing, but you can have the children with the right one. And if you already have kids, then the blessings is already here, and it's our time to nurture those blessings. Because that's what children are. Children are blessings, man. When they say children are the future, oh, trust me, that's the truth. So when you look at your kids and you look at the kids in your neighborhood, you're looking at the future of this world. And that's one of the reasons why I really wanted to start this podcast and promote the family and everything like that, because I feel like we need to go back to that. We need the traditionalism. We as a culture, we as a community, a global community, I think we need to reassess our foundations. And if we could redo that, and if we're going to do a reset, if these elitists want to do a reset, at least do a reset where the reset would be beneficial to us as a global community. You understand what I mean? And if we could pull that off, and if that could work, I think everything would be all right. That's just my opinion. So just give me 1 sec. I just want to do something real quick because I don't know why I'm about to do this, but I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. This song right here is fire. I just like it, and I don't know if they're gonna let me play it, if it's gonna stay, whatever. If it does, it does. If it don't, it don't. But I'm gonna end this podcast with this today. So I heard this song. I went in the gas station the other day, and this song is fire right now.
Say she needs somebody.
I need somebody that's gonna treat me right.
Say she needs somebody.
I need somebody that's gonna love me all night. Don't want no part-time lover, no one-night stand. I'm a grown-ass woman. I need a grown-ass man.
Say she needs somebody.
I need somebody that's gonna treat me right.
Say she needs somebody.
I need somebody that's gonna love me all night. Don't want no part-time lover, no one-night stand. I'm a grown-ass woman. I need a grown-ass man. I need somebody I can call my own. When we're together, baby, nothing feels wrong. I'm tired of playing these games. New love, but it feels the same. I wanna get weak to my knees when he calls my name.
All right, everybody. One of the reasons why I like this song and I'm playing this song today, because like I told you, I'm trying to promote marriage. That's what I'm trying to promote. I'm trying to promote the love amongst people so that we can have more babies. That's what I want. I want to promote love. I want to promote togetherness. I want to promote everything. So I think it starts with the grown-ups. So this is 2024, y'all. And in 2024, I'm promoting grown-ups. I'm promoting the couples. I'm promoting the love. I'm promoting the two people getting together and having children. Creating a family. Creating a nuclear family, an extended family. That's what I want. And the way this happens is when we get together like this. All right, Shawn Mecca, sing that like you need a grown man. This, y'all, is King James. And this song is fire.
Say she needs somebody.
I need somebody that's gonna treat me right.
Say she needs somebody.
I need somebody that's gonna love me all night. Don't want no part-time lover, no one-night stand. I'm a grown-ass woman. I need a grown-ass man.
Say she needs somebody.
I need somebody that's gonna treat me right.
Say she needs somebody.
I need somebody that's gonna love me all night. Don't want no part-time lover, no one-night stand. I'm a grown-ass woman. I need a grown-ass man. I need somebody I can call my own. When we're together, baby, nothing feels wrong. I'm tired of playing these games. New love, but it feels the same. I wanna get weak to my knees when he calls my name. Can he work my body, stimulate my mind? Whenever I call, does he show up? Is he right on time? That's the kind of man I need in my life. Long, 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 as he treats me right.
Say she needs somebody.
I need somebody that's gonna treat me right.
Say she needs somebody.
I need somebody that's gonna love me all night. Don't want no part-time lover, no one-night stand. I'm a grown-ass woman. I need a grown-ass man.
Say she needs somebody.
I need somebody that's gonna treat me right.
Say she needs somebody.
I need somebody that's gonna love me all night. Don't want no part-time lover, no one-night stand. I'm a grown-ass woman. I need a grown-ass man.
Oh, yeah. So she's a keeper, I ain't worried about a thing. She gives me a lot of pleasure and a little bit of pain. But I wanna give her the world, cause she do it for me, yes. So all her wants and her needs, I'ma aim to please. She want a man, she want a partner, to be a lover and a very best friend. She want that real love, not the kind that she gotta pretend. She want that peaceful love, she ain't trying to fight. So if you got a good woman, better treat her right. Say she needs somebody.
I need somebody that's gonna treat me right.
Say she needs somebody.
I need somebody that's gonna love me all night. Don't want no part-time lover. No one.
Happy New Year, everybody.